Last month, I attended a presentation given by DNV on the challenges of installing pipelines in ever deeper water, with a particular focus on the high pressures experienced when laying pipe at depths of over 2,000 metres. Pipeline wall thickness typically tends to increase the deeper you go, so that the pipe can withstand increasing subsea pressure. Of course, thicker pipe walls mean that more steel is used and that longer welding times are required, as well as making for difficult pipe handling on the vessel, longer lay schedules, and therefore a shortage of pipe lay vessels. With pipelines getting longer and deeper, it's imperative that pipeline operators and consortiums are able to address the issue of pipe wall thickness and manage it as they descend to new depths. I was particularly interested to discover that Xstream, DNV's new deep water pipeline concept, utilising both inverted hips and double block and bleed systems to isolate a deep water pipeline from pressure fluctuations, was applicable for Brazil's pre-salt fields. In fact, the team of sprightly young engineers behind the project was based in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, where the challenges of the pre-salt reserves have been advancing pipeline technology ever since the discovery of Tupi in 2006. Since then, a number of pre-salt discoveries have been made, constituting vast reserves of oil and gas found in a pre-salt zone 18,000 feet, 5,000 metres below the ocean's surface, under a thick layer of salt. DNV's deep water gas pipeline concept would bring cost efficiencies to new production and transportation in the pre-salt layers of the Santos, Campos and Espírito Santo basins. It's worth noting that Brazil remains a hotspot for offshore activity. According to Dan Bartfeld at Milbank, a US law firm, financing activity of exploration and production assets for use offshore Brazil will continue at a strong pace in 2012. Brazil will continue to provide a huge amount of opportunities for industry. Brazilian shipyards are set to boom, along with ports and pipeline transportation, of course. At World Pipelines, we have been closely following the changes taking place in Brazil, and of course, its great potential for the industry as a whole. For the last 5 years, we've produced an annual Brazilian supplement to the magazine, published in Brazilian Portuguese, and focusing on upstream and pipeline operations onshore and offshore Brazil. In September this year, we will publish the 6th World Pipelines and Oilfield Technology Brazil to coincide with Rio Oil and Gas. In producing the magazine over the past few years, we have witnessed Brazil's raised profile on the world stage as one of the much talked about BRIC countries. We have seen the nation's quick resurgence from the global economic downturn, its continued stability as a solid place for foreign investment, and its admirable efforts to avoid the so-called oil curse of other oil-rich nations. Brazil already boasts an impressive deep water record, and Petrobras has gone to great lengths to understand the country's new pre-salt finds. Last year, the Lula-Mexilhão gas pipeline, the longest and deepest rigid subsea pipeline in Brazil, was put into service. Petrobras has since awarded Saipem an EPIC contract for the installation of the Guara and Lula Northeast gas export pipelines in the Santos Basin. The unique challenges of Brazil's pre-salt reserves could catapult Brazil to the forefront of deep-water pipeline technology. So if you have an interesting angle on the Brazilian pipeline industry or an idea for an article, I'd be happy to hear from you.